Hi guys. Hello. So now I'm going to explain you all about polymorphism. So after my explanation, if you need any extra assistance, you can ask me. So if you see, like, polymorphism means many forms actually, and it occurs when we have many classes that are related to each other by inheritance. Like what we studied earlier, we studied about inheritance. So inheritance lets us inherit fields and methods from another class. So polymorphism uses those methods to perform different tasks. So if I give you a small recap on inheritance, inheritance establishes hierarchy of classes. So where a subclass can use and extend the properties and behaviors of a superclass. This promotes code organization and reusability. So now let's see how inheritance is applied using polymorphism. Polymorphism leverages the inherited methods from the superclass to perform different tasks. So when we create specific subclasses, they can override inherited methods to provide unique implementations and adapting to the particular characteristics. So consider scenario where we have a base class and multiple subclasses inherit from it. Each subclass can redefine methods to suit its specific needs. Like when we interact with these objects using references of a base class, the appropriate version of the method is dynamically selected based on the actual type of the object. So this dynamic behavior is what we call polymorphic behavior. So for at the end, if you want to say like polymorphism enables us to work with objects of different classes in a unified way. It allows for flexibility in handling various types of objects through a common interface, mm, making the code more adaptable and extensible. The dynamic selection of methods at runtime based on the actual type of the object enhances the versatility of the object-oriented program. So that's my explanation. So if you guys have like any more doubts, you can ask me. Like, whatever, any other explanations you need?
So far, so good. Got it well.
Okay. So just let me.
Nirosh,
Yeah, sir.
so
Yeah, yeah.
the so the importance why we use polymorphism is like to arrange our code into block of things, right?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So let me just show you a simple code snippet so you guys can understand a bit more. So here's that. This is a calculator class. So if you dive into the concept of polymorphism in programming, imagine we have a computer calculator class and we want it to be flexible enough to handle both integer and decimal addition as well as string concatenation. So this is where polymorphism comes into play. In a calculator class, we have used technique called method overloading. So which is a form of polymorphism. Instead of having separate methods for method names for each type of addition or concatenation, we have multiple version of the same method with different parameters. So let's take a look at the add method here. So we have one version that takes two integers like num1 and 2, and the magic happens when we call these methods. Depending on the types of arguments we provide, the compiler figures out which version of the method to use. This ability to have different behaviors based on the context is what we call polymorphism. So for example, if we see like uh, add 5 and 10, it knows the version of add that deals with the integers. Similarly, if we call add 5.5 and 10.5, it uses the version that handles doubles. So we have mentioned them here as well, double, num1 and num2. And this flexibility makes our calculator class more adaptable to different types of data. So now let's talk about the concatenation. We have a concatenate method that can take two or three strings parameters. Again, depending on the many arguments we provide, the compiler selects the version that's appropriate. So when we call concatenate, like here we can see hello world, it uses the version that handles two strings. And for concatenate hello world, how are you? It uses version that handles three strings. So let me just run and show you this code for better understanding. Let's give it give it some time for it to run. So see, we call the same methods twice, but since we have given two different parameters or arguments, the code understood which method are we exactly calling, and it gave the output as mentioned in the explanation and even in the code. So polymorphism, so in the end, what we can see is like polymorphism you allows us to use the same method and but with different parameter types or number of parameters, making our code more versatile and easy to work with. It's like having a flexible toolbox that can handle various tasks without needing different tools for each one. So that's all, guys, from me for the explanation of polymorphism. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Nikhil.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Niraj. Understood it better.